All right. I think we figured out all the technical difficulties that we can figure out for today.
Evening. How are you?
Good.
Like
How
I
are
don't
you,
know.
Steve?
That's not what you said earlier.
Nope, it is not. It is not. Yeah, it's
Oh man. Yeah. No, I am okay. I'm very tired.
yeah.
I had a busy weekend at the police stations. Not that you'd know it from the amount of stuff I watched, but I did have a very
Yeah.
busy evening at the weekend at the police stations, and I've had a long, long day at court today, dealing with 8 different clients, and every one of them was problematic. So it's been a long day. So Red Bull at the ready.
Yep.
There will be yawning.
Oh,
Apologies.
good.
That is not a comment
Well,
on anyone's reviews or anything. But yeah, I am shattered, but very excited for tonight's show because let's stir some controversy. Deej, come on.
Oh, we got plenty. We got plenty. We got. I'm even. I see. I see Travis in the chat already. I got one for him later that he doesn't know about yet. And I had a nice kind of long conversation with him yesterday about something we'll talk about when we get into the show proper, about the new setup and everything that you kind of, if you're watching at home, you can see behind me. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah. Oh, geez. What do you think? Should I put those pictures in, Steve?
What's
the
that?
progress?
Yeah. See, that's what I was expecting. I was mildly disappointed when I tuned in and see you've actually got it on proper stands.
Yeah. Hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, man.
So, yeah. Let me see. What do I have any? Yeah. So I might as well just drop all of these. Yeah. And this one here. You seen that?
Oh, yeah. War wounds.
Yeah.
Suffering for your art.
Yeah. Yeah. The things we sacrifice for a home theater, right?
No, well, indeed, yes, absolutely. But yeah, so I am. So no matter how tired I have been and am, I am, like I say, very much looking forward to this since Friday, Saturday, whatever it was, when we watched something awesome. Yeah, and there's going to be some controversy, but let's, as I said, bring it on.
Yep. Exactly.
Other opinions are available. Wrong. But other opinions are
available. Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. And it's what are you going to do? As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Hells yeah.
I haven't seen anything online. I haven't seen any of the information that we're alluding to here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all. I mean, it's all in good taste. No one's being. There's no one being horrible.
All friends of ours,
because we're not like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Marcus,
but we are going to stir
in the chat. I love controversy. Bring it. It's like, we're bringing it. Yeah. One of them's a new, not a new one. It's. I'm just going to add fuel to the fire, like gasoline to the bonfire, or whatever, with me and Travis on one. Since I got a fun perspective now in this room, so that'll be a fun one. But yeah, and I didn't find out about the real one, the big controversy that we're going to stir up later until you just told me about it. Yeah, I haven't been online, so.
Well, we're going to have to make sure we leave plenty of time to talk about that one. We'll leave that to last.
Yeah, that's to make sure that's we've got a show title right there.
Oh, the title.
The title. Yeah, absolutely.
And anyone that's been on Twitter today over the weekend will know what we're talking about. And those that haven't will know by the end.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, but it's so as I said, it's been exciting. I've whittled down some of my selection, but I've got some great ones to talk about tonight. A couple of contenders really for experience of the year, and we don't always get that every week. So yeah, it's great. Some very cool stuff this week. Looking forward to that. I see Sophia's in the chat.
Yep. She's not just right on the other side of the wall, watching on the big screen in the living room, and she's in the chat here. It's one big family affair here right now.
Actually, did you it was obviously back in the old place when they were there. The episode we did when Sophia and her sister, I've forgotten her name, Victoria.
Yeah, Victoria. Yep. There you
Victoria.
Go.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Check me out. Yeah, check me out. Right. So when they were there, they were watching K-pop Demon Hunters, weren't they?
They're probably still watching it. That's like their favorite movie now. And it's like whenever like, oh, do you want me to put on a K-pop? It's like, it's like,
yeah, because now I remember you talking about that and me thinking, what the flipping heck is that? I've never heard of that. And yet Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin were talking on a podcast yesterday that I listened to today. And Mark Bernardin was saying that this K-pop Demon Hunters is one of the best movies he's seen. And so I put on the trailer when I got back, because of course it's on Netflix. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't mildly intrigued. Part of this 50-year-old male is thinking, what the hell are you watching?
I've heard a lot of people say that. The other part of me
is thinking, looks kind of cool, man. So I think I'm going to give that a go. I might give that a watch for next week. Suitably.
There are worse things you could do.
True.
What was
watching the Emoji Movie?
Sophia told me about another one yesterday that I have to watch. It was the fourth iteration. Sophia in the chat, let me know remind me what it was, and I'm like, why do I have to watch that? It's the zombie whatever. The zombie, no, not your type of zombie, Steve.
Sophia, Army of the Dead.
Yeah, no. It's on. I think it's on Disney Plus. The zombie, whatever. They're like high school kids or whatever. Zombies 4. There you go.
Oh, well, there you go. Fourth iteration, Zombies.
Zombies 4. So I had it right. Zombies, and there's 4 of them. So, and I was like, why do I have to watch? It's it's a kid. It's like a High School Musical type thing, but it's zombies, and it's fun. It's like there's the regular kids, there's the zombies kids. It's like, kind of like Marvel with the mutants. It's that whole things back and forth, teaching kids those things. She goes, you got to see Zombies 4. And I'm like, why? She goes, because you have a show about movies, and it's a movie, and you need to see it.
I mean,
so I just got schooled.
Succinct review as you need to have.
Exactly. So not only do I get emails on what I got to see, but now I'm getting it like right here in the home. Here we go. It's like, you've got to watch this.
Well, I am going to try and make some time for it. I'm going to K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
I'm going to try. I listened to one of the songs on the way back in the car after I listened to this podcast, and I just thought, what?
Here's Jordan.
Good. Yeah,
Jordan in the chat. He's like, I was able to watch K-pop Demon Hunters at the cinema on Sunday. It's a great film. Had some hilarious moments. See?
There you go. Although he's a bit younger than us.
He's not that much younger.
Well, he's a bit younger. Yeah, he's in his 30s, I think. We're in our 50s. It just seems a bit weird.
But still. It's like, I put it on for a 6 and a 9-year-old.
You're fine. Yeah, that's it. It's very different for me. I'm going to have to excuse this somehow.
Yeah.
What are you watching? Well,
you're going to have to cleanse yourself with a really bad horror movie or something.
Hey, I've got plenty.
Yes, you do.
Yet to be watched.
Yes, you do. Talked to John this week. I had a fun conversation with him about everything I've been going through and how things are going with him. He says they're going really well. He's really excited about the job. Just to give an update to everybody, he's like, it's very promising. He's still, like he said, he's still in training, not army training, but he's still in training. And he's like, but everything seems pretty good. The funny thing is, we were talking, and he's like, you get paid by calls and stuff like that. And I'm like,
customer service.
Yeah. But I was thinking like sales, like they always promise you the more you do, the more you make. Right. And I'm like, but if the sales don't come in, and he goes, Deej, this is like, they come to me. He goes, this is customer service, the problem solving. I go, they're coming to you with their problems? And she's like, yeah. I go, John, this sounds like it's more of a me than you. I'm like, you have a you have a low tolerance. And he starts laughing. He goes, yeah, I know. And he goes, but I've been in retail my whole life. I have the fake face. I go, I know you do. But it is. It's so we probably talked a good 20 minutes on like dumb people, like people call you for help and then argue with you. Like, you called me. It's
legendary customer service stories from my time in retail as well, including someone who came to a hardware store that I was working, and she asked if that we had any ant traps. Not ant killer, ant traps. I was just thinking, what the small little mouse trap that you kind of,
Yeah, exactly. And then what are you going to set them free? Like I do that here, like spiders, and I'll like grab a spider and I'll take it outside or something like that. But you try to, but ants, yeah, that's a lot of traps because there's like thousands.
Customers, man.
Yeah.
Retail would be a lot easier without them.
Yeah, you'd be broke, but hey, it'd be easy.
Hey, man, it'd be a lot easier. One of the reasons that I had to stop working in one of the places that I worked at is because I just had given up on the customers. I just decided I didn't want to engage with them anymore.
Yeah. It's time to get out then. When you just can't, you look at them like, no, you can't do that. Like, no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be here. You're not smart enough. Oh boy. All right.
But there we go. Yeah. So anyway, so good stuff ahead. Good times ahead.
Yep.
Lots of cool stuff to talk about. And yeah, fair play to John. I had a few texts from him as well over the weekend. So yeah, no, it's all
doing
good.
well.
All good. Yeah, he is. He's
doing
pleased.
well. He's excited. Glad. Happy for him. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ready to get into it?
Let's do it, man. The numbers are up. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Here we go. Where's that?
We are Brightside Theater.
Hey, home theater nerds. Welcome to the multi-award-winning. Like, what are you laughing at? You distracted me. It's like, oh, God. Oh, Travis. How did it know?
He must know. He must know. He's wanting us.
Oh, my God. How did it end up? No, it doesn't end on that. Do I have to run it again? Do I have to run it again?
Take two. Go on. You know you want to.
Here we go. Watch. All right. Geez. What the? All right. For people in, oh my God. All right. Let's do it. We're doing it with the audio open for the people at home that, weren't we just talking about customer service, Steve?
True.
Here we go. All right, Steve. Steve, they can hear us. Or they can hear me. Why can't they? Steve, you can unmute yourself. 4, 3, 2. How did it end on that? How did it end on what do you say, 4?
Yeah, he means episode 4, of course.
Yeah, but that's the first one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You told us. We know. Travis is out of the loop.
Travis, it was called Star Wars. The original. It's the first. That's why it ends on that. Why does it end on 4? How old are you, buddy? Come on. Come on. There we go. All right.
Anyway, the award-winning podcast is all about the sights, the sounds, the scenes.
Yeah, here, let's start it again, and we'll do the... Okay, here we go. Hey, home theater nerds. Welcome to the multi-award-winning home theater podcast. The home theater podcast, it's all about the experiences, the sights,
the sounds,
the multi-award-winning scenes.
There we go. All right. We got all that out of the way. We know how to count to 4. Oh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Oh, God. When you saw it in 1977, Travis, what was it called? There we go.
Just Star Wars.
There we go. Yep. That's Steve at. John Wick wasn't 1 until there was a 2. Mm-hmm. All right. So,
right. How are you, buddy? You okay?
I'm doing good. I'm doing much better now that I'm sitting here in the comfy confines of my updated.
What are we calling it? Yeah, what are we calling it then? Because it's not the Bright Side Home Theater, is it? Because that's all singing, all dancing. So what do we call the interim one?
You call it. I'm calling it, as I put out on Twitter yesterday. It's like, hey, no excuses, right? You have you love home theater. You have you want a home theater. No excuses. One thing you do need, you need a great friend to give you a room.
True.
So that I got. Okay. Great friend and a room. And yeah, I went to town. And since last week's podcast, let's see, we'll start with which one do we want to start with? That one? No.
Yeah, there's a story with that first. Yeah.
We'll start with last.
Here we go. Yeah.
What was it? Wednesday, Steve? I think I think it was.
Thursday?
Wednesday or Thursday.
Was it that quick you went out? I think it was Thursday or Friday.
Yeah. So here we go. We'll bring these up. There we go. That's the display you see behind me. Bravia XR50, Sony Bravia 5 XR50. And it's the what do you call it? Mini LED display, 75 inch. And the gentleman helping me get it into the back of my truck, you can see this opening here. My bed's 5.5 feet long. The box is like 6.5 feet long. So I had to lean into the bed and, lift it up, and the gentleman helping me slide it in. Yeah, Travis, you're right. It hurts to see the TV packed like that.
Literally.
It's packed perfectly. That's actually in the cab of my truck, and that's the bed in the back. And so I'm leaning into the bed from the cab, lifting it up, and I'm like, as soon as they felt me lift it up, they slammed it as hard as they can, and that's the side of my head slams into up on the top part here. My head gets wedged. I swear at them, I'm like, back, back, back. I'm like, what the heck? But anyways, I get it home, unbox it, mount it on the wall that day. There you go. This is what the room looked like then. There we go. I sent that to Steve.
Loving the boxes.
Yep. It's like, home theater in a box, on a box, whatever you want to call it. And then before I could get anything else done, had to watch episode 4. So we have that. Let's see, what else do we have? Yep. So I'm running my PB 2000 here. And Ultra Center, as you can see here, I got the Ultras there on the sides, Ultra bookshelves. And then up on each side in the back here, I have the Prime bookshelf. So I'm running a 5.1 system. And let's try this, a special acoustic cardboard. Yep, that's right, Paul. All right, let's try this again. Here we go, and we'll log in. There we go. Let's see. And I'm going to try and give you guys a shot take you around the room.
Switch to Blair Witch Cam.
Yeah, exactly. Blair Witch Cam. And so, no, I got to change the camera back ultra wide. That's good. All right. So this is my view from here right now, but I'll bring this up onto the screen. Oh. Remove. Boom. At the stage. All right. So there you go. Sorry about the echo. It's stupid coming through the phone, but I'm using the camera.
It's not echoing here, Deej.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't come through on my mic. So yeah, this is what I see from here. I'll back up a little bit. This is my podcast studio. So I want to watch a movie. This is what I'm looking at when I'm podcasting. And then on the sides, they'll actually, sorry, I'm getting further away from the mic. The green is actually going to go all the way around the back because this is Larissa's house and that's her color. Personally, I would have chosen blue, but she didn't actually pick it. I was just doing it to be nice. But anyways, all right, let's spin it around. This is the front of the room. So those there are sound dampening, room darkening, velvet. I got links for it, but that's the front of the room. So all I got to do is turn around and I'm 6.5 feet away from a 75-inch screen. And that's the room. There's I got the surrounds over there, 5.1 right now. And then on this side, you got that. The room's kind of whoops.
Who's that good looking fella in the middle of the screen?
Yeah, exactly. So, yep. And that's the room. So that's the new, podcast studio, if you will. podcast studio, screening room, and swivel seat, and it's really cool. I'll talk about it more when we get into our experiences, but yeah, so I grabbed some speaker stands that, piecing this together day by day. And
well, I don't want to be outdone, Deej, so I'm going to just sit here with this behind me like that. Okay,
there you go.
The entire thing. I want people to know that I've got it too.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be outdone.
Oh, God. Let's see. How do
Oh man, no, it's looking good. I feel another home theater tours episode coming on, Deej.
Oh God, yeah. If I had time for it, get that out of there. Let me see. How do I drop
It's looking
that?
good. It's looking good, especially since kind of as of last week, you were like, well, look, it's just going to be glasses from here on in, and that's what it's going to be. So, you conceived of the plan and executed it all within a couple of days.
Yeah. That's what ends up. I've been working on it for a while in my head. It wasn't like it was just one day. And I'll tell you how I came to the decision on the TV. So I was talking with my buddy Brett Bjorkquist about OLEDs and stuff like that, and looking at the pricing and everything. And I'm like, because I knew I was going to be in a room, controlled lighting, darkened room, and anything less than an OLED, the black bars at the top and the bottom aren't going to be black. You're going to have issue. It's not going to be the jet black. And it's like, where OLED quote unquote shines is in the darkness. Where you want maybe a mini LED, or you want another tech that's brighter, is in a well-lit room, where you're dealing with ambient light and stuff like that. OLEDs, they don't get as bright as them, but they get great detail in the blacks, in the shadows and all of that. And their blacks go to absolute black, like just dead on. That was my goal. And, because I didn't want to compromise on that part of it and just throw up a cheap TV. And then I was talking with Ara like a week later, and Ara was like, well, you could probably save some money and go with a mini LED, a decent mini LED. And because they have the different zones, where they have the zoning.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dimming zones. He's like, and when you go to your black bars, they're going to be black because they're going to the zones, it'll shut them off. And he's like, the image inside of it won't be as deep. The blacks won't be as deep in there because it can't shut the zones off in there or whatever. Right. So I'm like, buddy, that's like dead on to what I'm used to with a projector. Right. I put my masking up and there you go. And it's like, and the details there, and all right, it's maybe that doesn't go as deep a black as an OLED does in the picture, but I'm saving easily $1,000. This one here was, I think on sale for $14.98 or something like that. It's not the most expensive mini LED, but it's definitely not the cheapest. You can get cheaper and stuff, but that's all processing and everything. So, but yeah, I looked around and I wanted to experience it, saved the box, saved everything, carefully unpacked it. And I couldn't be happier. It's like Ara said, it's like the black levels are really good. I haven't calibrated it to the hilt yet. I just did, as we were talking before, I did Dolby Vision Dark, set it to that, and just been like, okay, a few tweaks here and there to get the detail that I'm looking for. But yeah, this is where the controversy with Travis, hopefully he's still listening. I know he had a meeting to get to. Variable aspect ratio, what a blast. Because I don't have to deal with the masking. So like I didn't put it in the show. I got Shawshank by Maverick at one point because I was like, whoop, 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 that one that's in the show for this week has variable aspect ratios. And I freaking loved it. Because it was, you do have that dead on black. And then when it goes big, you're like, and I'm sitting, like I said, 6.5 feet away from this thing. And I'm like, this is great.
Yeah. Try it with Sinners.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of opening 20 minutes, when it goes big from the very wide, it's like, whoa.
Yeah. And it does a gradual too. It does a gradual one. Like I was going to put on Black Panther, but there's only so much I can get to. but yeah, it get my whole, I have not a new perspective. but a new appreciation for a screening room, right? Like if this is what you want, and I mean, you can save a lot of money and do a smaller room. I mean, this is a 5.1 system. I do want to end up with Atmos. I'm going to 5.1.4 system in here eventually. But I do want to experience a 5.1 system for a little while, then add the Atmos in and see what the difference is and have fun with that. But the 5.1 system, really, really good. It's, I mean, really good. If I didn't know better, I'd be like, what's better than this? You know, I do know, like, and here, I think I'm running only one of my PB 2000s, but this room is 9 by 10 by 9. So one of them, and I didn't do a subwoofer crawl, as you can see. I just placed it in the front sideways with the center channel on top of it, and I'm getting nice bass, not room shaking. I don't have it set up like that. I have it dialed. I did my own calibration just quickly, just to watch like Star Wars. And then I did run Odyssey, and there is an improvement. The bass was improved in that. So and I'm watching mostly at about -7. Streaming, I can go almost a reference in here without and it's more of, the accommodations to the rest of the house. Yeah. Because this is just an office right off the kitchen. So you don't want to, but they're out there going, it ain't that bad. It ain't, I mean, the girls do their dances in the living room, which is a few rooms away, and they crank it. I can't hear them and they can't hear me because theirs is cranking. But it's not too bad. And I think a lot of that has to do with the drapery too, kind of like what Greg was saying with his mini theater in his basement, where he put absolute like carpets down. And it's when you have these thick, room dampening, sound dampening drapes, and they're good 4 inches from the wall. The sound goes through, dies there, hits the wall, comes back, and is dying again. It's helping my experience in the room. And eventually I will add some sound treatments behind the drapes and stuff to help even more. But for in 1 week, this is what I have. And I'm like, hey, thank you buyers for not taking my stuff. Because this is what I was able to do with it. All I needed was the display. And it's kind of fun being back to basics too. No Lumagen in line, no nothing. It's just my Denon receiver, my 6300H, my old Denon 6300H. I got a Kaleidescape and an Apple TV, and that's all I'm running right now. And that's all I need. So Travis asked, what's my viewing angle on that screen from your distance? I'm like, I'm dead on. My eyes are at about just below half. It's a little bit raised, half, and I do have the screen slightly angled to me, towed like down to me. And it's, like I said, I notice like, if I stand at the back corner, the image is a little bit washed out off to the side. It's angled down, and I'm standing up at 6 feet. My eyes are probably at the top of the screen or above the top of the screen at that point. So it's, but that's the idea. That's the ideal, right? And it's like, for a screening room, this is what it's for. It's for me. You could get two seats like this in here, probably 3 seats maybe, and be able to watch a movie and have, like, I want to get another seat, at least one more seat, even so the girls can come in and watch movies and stuff too. But yeah, it's whoops, boom.
Yeah, no, it's also like an optical illusion as well. When you've got the screen on there, when you've got the lights on, then it'll feel big. But once you turn the lights out, and then everything, then you can see that just sort of dominates your field of view. It feels bigger as well. And again, especially with movies like Sinners and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No,
yeah. Man, it looks like the screen looks like it's floating there. And I have, like, you could see those SVS Ultras, they have a gloss finish, but when I shut out the lights in the room, like, let's try. Like, you can't, I mean, you get, those are getting a reflection from my gear here.
Screens. Yeah.
And when you're watching a movie, they're just perfectly to the side, so there's nothing on them. That image just looks like it's floating there.
Yeah.
And like, you can't see anything in the room. I mean, it is pitch dark in here. So it's, it's great. And that, I'm telling you, over here, it's like 7 foot long bay window that I have covered on the side here. It's huge, and it's just covered with the drapes. And I think a set of them was like $30-$40, something like that. And it's like, and I've got, I don't know, 8 sets to get all the way around the room. But
yeah, man, no, it's good. As I said, I mean, I love my 75-inch screen. I think it's great. And again, in a smaller room, it's a single skin garage conversion, lights out. It feels well. I still maintain it feels about as cinematic as I want and better than most, if not all, of my theatrical experiences. And again, the movie we're going to talk about later, absolutely, it was a better experience in my cinema room than the one I had in theaters all day long. No argument about it at all. So there we go. Well, we're good. Well, I'm glad. It's very cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited. Very excited. Excited to be here. Excited. I mean, to have a room to come into and just sit down, and it's, I could do my work here and then just turn around, watch a movie. It's awesome. It's awesome. So, but yeah, so thanks to Larissa and the girls for letting me have the room and putting up with my crap. Literally crap going in and out of the house. Oh boy. You want to get to the chat, and then we'll
absolutely.
We talked about last week.
I was swept up in that. Look, see, I forgot to say hi to them all. Right. Yeah. Okay. So going back. So Mikey Schramm was first in a little bit earlier this evening. Not sure if he's still in because I haven't seen him commenting. So I don't know if he's back or he's been called away. But anyway, hi Mikey, for whenever you're listening. TSG was in as well a little bit earlier. I think TSG is still in. So hey TSG. Captain AC3's in. My captain. We've got Martin J's in. Hey, Martin. Again, haven't heard from him as to whether he's enjoying Alien Earth with that Wade and Nutani logo, but hopefully you are. By the way, are we going to be talking that this week, Deej? Did you watch episodes 2 and 3 of Alien Earth?
Yes. I'm all caught up except for like the last 15 minutes, but yes.
One word review. We talked about it last week, so one word review from you. What are we saying?
Awesome. I mean, it's so much water cooler talk. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And home theater wise, oh my God. Yeah. Well, we could talk about that again. Yeah.
Absolutely. Episode 2. Did I tell you that everything hit the fan?
Yes. Yeah. Everything hit the fan. And then I thought 3 kind of same, but very interesting. I love what they're doing with it.
Yeah, it's good. Really cool. I've heard some kind of negative stuff online this week about it, which has been disappointing because I think it's great. So, good to hear. All right. So, Jordan's in as well. Hey, Jordan. Steve At's in. Dom's in. Bonsoir, Dom. John Mensor's in. Hey, John. Travis has been insulted and gone.
John,
So, and that girl, Sophia, dropped in with some recommendations for
that girl, Sophia, not the girl. So that one. Not the other one, that one.
Yeah. Fair play to her, recommending horror films. Good on you, Sophia.
It's not really horror.
Anything's
on. Try
me.
it out, Steve. Let me know how horror it is.
Yeah. And then Holger's in. Hey, Holger. How you doing, buddy? And Marcus B was in, as we mentioned earlier. And then we've had Old School Kung Fu Films dropped in. I know. I saw that. Paul Hertz in. Hey, Paul. And who else was there? Oh, yeah. Jan Hextra's in. Hey, Jan. How you doing, buddy? And who else was it? I saw a couple of others as well. Blind Guy's in. Hey, buddy. Asking about what equipment is in the home theater, but I think we've covered that now. I think we've done that, haven't we? So, and judging by the numbers, plenty of people in. So, as I always say, you're in for the first time, or you listen all the time, but you've not said hello before. Just jump into the chat on YouTube, say hi. We like to know what people are here, there, and everywhere. We're still hoping to hear from the penguins in the Arctic. We haven't heard from them as yet, but we've got our fingers crossed. So it's a matter of time.
Yeah, unfortunately, let me see. I can pull that up. No, I can't. But last I looked, we were in 49 countries. We're dominating it. We got most of South America.
Nice.
Look on the map. We're in 49 countries.
Entonces tenemos que hablar solamente en español.
Oh, here we go. And that's why we're in 49.
And that's why we were in South Africa.
That's why we were in South America. So, but yeah. We're in South Africa too. We actually are. That is one of the countries on our list. South Africa.
Diplomatic community.
Yep. There you go.
And now we're not in South Africa either. Right. Well, we're just crossing them off.
Canada and Japan are going back and forth for 4th, 4 and 5 for listenership.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Canada and Japan. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So,
all right. Well, good on you. Yeah. Konnichiwa. I mean, in Canada, bonsoir, I suppose. Or is it A?
A.
It's elbows up, or whatever it is they say.
Yeah. 2 feet up. Yep.
2 feet up.
No, that ain't what they say. That's another story for another time. Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah. So now Paul Hurt is in the chat. So
yes.
Please tell me about Paul's response then to my question last week.
So Paul had a very detailed email regarding hotspotting, and he was dead on. And when you asked the question last week, it's like I had said, I mean, he opens the email, he goes, I'm sure you know all of this, but and I was like, yep, you're dead on. So basically where it comes into play, I wasn't even thinking of it in the aspect of a regular conventional theater. Because I think of hotspotting when you look at like your regular theater, like your home theater, and where people run into trouble with it. So basically what he was explaining is your issue have more to do with your seating, where like because of where you were. And think of it like he had a great analogy. Is like think of a flashlight on a mirror, right? Like if you're off to the side of it, it's like unless the flashlight is angled and you're at that angle, you're just gonna see it's in the mirror, but it's not gonna be as bright. Well, some conventional theaters, they'll use a high gain screen, and when you use a high gain screen, that's when you get hotspotting, but you only get it in. Think of almost like that angle from like wherever the projector's shooting and where you're sitting, it has to be that perfect angle to get, so you're going to see right there, but everybody else in the theater off to the side of this, they won't get that. Now, the further out you go with with a high gain screen, you're going to get a dimmer image because it's meant to project straight back and not deal with that. But that's the issue with a high gain screen. Where this comes into play, and what I was saying to Paul is where it comes into play for us with projectors is we tend, as home theater enthusiasts, it's more economical to make up for the shortcomings of your projector with a higher gain, right? So like, say you need, like if you go on to, I think it's Projector Central or something, and you can see what your foot lamberts are going to be, how bright your screen is going to be with whatever projector, and then you can put in the gain of your screen. So say you get a lower, your screen, your projector that you want to buy isn't as bright, but you're throwing at, you got to throw it at 18 feet. Well, you're going to need a higher gain to get the brightness you want. Well, the higher you go, the more apt you are to have this issue. The rule of thumb right now is around 1.3, you should be safe. Anything over that, you run the risk of hotspotting. And it can, never mind, there's other issues too. You can distort the colors, it can distort some other things. You want to go to a zero, like my old screen, my Stewart was a 0 gain. It's just dead on what the projector puts out is what you get. Ideally, that's what you want. Right? You don't want to be messing with the image coming from the projector. But does it make sense? Because we see the pricing in projectors. It's like you go $5,000 for an entry level 4K, say, and then you're jumping up to like 12 to 15 grand. And then from there, you jump in another 10 to 15 to the next level. Well, instead of jumping up and buying the more expensive one, you buy a higher gain screen to make up that difference. When if you had your druthers, you'd buy the most powerful projector you could get for that throw distance and get a 0 gain screen. That way you would have an absolutely guarantee of a correct image based off of your projector. But in a commercial space, they don't care.
No.
And, they'll save money on the projector. They'll do a high gain screen. And for the few people that get the hotspotting, okay, don't sit there. Everybody else is like, I didn't see what you saw, so it's like, it doesn't bother them as much. But that's what I liked about what Paul was saying is I thought it was a good point to make for home theater people. And that's why you want to keep that gain down as much as possible. And even in my new one, I might go to a 1.3, depending on, the throw distance and how bright you want it, but you definitely want to stay under 1.3. Anything over that, and you can run into some issues with your image quality and hotspotting dead on and people sitting to the sides. It's going to be a little bit different. So that was that. But thanks, Paul, for the reminder and the information on that.
I'll know not to sit in that seat again. But it was it wasn't a big deal, but it was just in the very dark scenes. You could just see this giant, enormous blue circle. Very faint, but you could see it. As with anything like this, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And it was a little bit annoying. And again, was just had me thinking, well, that's all right. It'll look better at home.
Well, that's the thing with the projectors too. Like our projectors, like even my projector, there's a known issue with that technology in the Sonys and the JVCs and all that. And if I showed you what it was, you would never unsee it. Right. But it's there. It's in that's part of the technology. And it's like, you can't, but it's like, if you don't see it, you don't know it, you'll probably never ever. It's a very rare thing to even find, but it's like that noise in the room when somebody goes, "Do you hear that little?" Well, I do now. It's like, thanks for that. But yeah, it's so yeah.
So Dean M. Rosenberg's in the chat, by the way. Just says, first time catching you live. Usually have to wait for the next day. Well, we're glad you didn't have to this time, Dean. Good to have you aboard. Thanks, buddy.
Nice.
Good to hear from you.
Nice to see it. Nice to hear from you, Dean. Well, it's available right afterwards too. As soon as we go live, you can anytime after. You shouldn't have to wait till next day that I know.
All right. Right. Should we get to some experiences then? Because we've got some great stuff.
What do you want to open with? What do you want? I've been yapping away. I got to rest my voice there because I got to sing.
Can I do the video game movie? Because I've got it here in front of me, because this is one of my experiences of the year.
Which one's that one? This one?
That's the one.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
See? There we go. All right. I think we can handle this.
Yeah. Okay, then. So this is it's a Minecraft movie, according to the title, on 4K UHD disc and Dolby Atmos. And I talked about this back in early April when it hit theaters. I saw it in theaters with a group of people of a more age appropriate than I am for this particular movie. And I had a really good time with it in theaters and I really enjoyed it. And I was very much looking forward to getting the disc, but with some trepidation, because I had read a number of reviews, usually the first mistake, that had suggested it wasn't that great at home, that there were some issues with the picture and that sort of thing. So when I put this on, literally this was the last thing I watched before I went away, and I put this on thinking, well, let's see what it's like. And in my opinion, the reviews I had read were wrong. Because I'm
getting a lot of that today.
I know it's going to be a constant refrain. I thought this looked fantastic. It is three-dimensional from minute one, and it almost doesn't stop. So 185, ultra detailed, beautiful colors that leap off the screen, and very, very three-dimensional. And funnily enough, it's a movie about stepping into another world, and it feels like you have done exactly that. And the audio goes along with it. The Atmos is great. Obviously, it's all computer generated audio. None of it's obviously real. So everything zips around the screen. There are chases and explosions, and there's armies of things all running about, and it goes right around the room. Again, and this will be another constant refrain tonight, I think my experience in Cinema George was better than my theatrical experience. Much better environment, much better sound, and infinitely better video. So I had a great time with it second time round. No idiot in Cinema George threw popcorn at the chicken jockey thing. Even me. And so it stayed nice and tidy and clean, which is good. And I really enjoyed it. This will be, I think, in my top 10 of the year when we get to the end of it. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. If not for the audio, then the video all day long. I don't understand what the reviewers were getting at. It looked amazing. So I do recommend this. It's great. For within the world that it is creating. It's not Citizen Kane, but it is a lot of fun. So I very much recommend this. Great time had in the cinema room. We'll be watching it again. Very cool. And actually, Deej, might be one for you and Sophia and Victoria and that, if they've ever played Minecraft. Might be one for them as well, because it's a PG. There's nothing too inappropriate in there, but it's a lot of fun, and there's some fun creatures in there that they might get a kick out of. So yeah, once you finish Zombies 4 and K-pop Demon Hunters for the 12th time, then it's back to a Minecraft movie. You know it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It just totally makes sense. Oh boy.
So yeah, very cool. Really cool. I did enjoy it.
All right, cool. All right. Let's see. Back to whoops, that's not what I want to do. There we go. And we're back. Let's see. What did I want to do first? Well, you know what? I'm going to do, since it's back up there anyways, we'll do this because, it's been a while, right? So you got it.
Yeah, it's been at least since last week.
Yeah, exactly. So what else are you going to do? I mean, I have, and I'm going to open with, use this to, here we go. I know Travis isn't listening. He's in a meeting now, but yes, Star Wars, the original, Star Wars 1, episode 4, A New Hope. Yeah, here we are, back again, another week, another new theater. So I had to open with this. I'm not really going to talk about the movie itself. I'll talk more about the experience and what happens. Spoilers.
Oh,
I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but brother, sister, father, all that stuff. Not Game of Thrones type, but yeah, you know what I mean. But anyways, but more about, like, I'll use this as a stepping off point to tell you what it's like in this theater coming from my other theater, a little bit more detail. Yeah, the base isn't the same. It's not, I'm not running my duals front and rear, centered front and rear, where you get, I was getting, if there was a rumble, I got the rumble. If there was a punch in the chest, I got the punch in the chest. Highly accurate for what you'd want in your theater. In here, I'm getting some rumbles, and it's nice. And it's like, and I noticed, like, the opening scene, the opening, orchestra, John Williams, the whole thing sounds fantastic. The pans in here are really, really nice. So what I've done is, because I don't have Atmos in here, I'm running 5.1. So I took my surrounds and I elevated them a little bit. And what that ends up doing for me is that when something is supposed to sound like it's going to go overhead, it is coming to my surrounds, which would be in the Atmos speakers. My brain is telling me it's overhead. Right. It's like in the opening, they look up and you hear ka-gong, ka-gong, right? And in Star Wars. So my brain is like, and it sounds like it's over my head. But then anything that's supposed to be in the back, like the echo inside the, or any talking inside of the trash compactor, something in the back corner of the room. Now, it's funny that I'm in here now and I'm pointing this way to the back corner of the room because I'm facing the back of the room. But anyways, anything in the back corner of the room, if it's supposed to be down low, I'm translating that as down low, right? So I'm utilizing, I'm elevating it, I'm giving it, and it gives me a great sense of immersion. I get great pans around the room. I watched Maverick as well, and when he first comes in to meet everybody, and they go, and you get the big bass note of the jet coming in, and then it flies around the room. I got that. That 215. Sounds amazing. The barrel rolls, everything sounds fantastic. So is it as accurate as my old room? No. But like I said, if I didn't know any better, I'd be like, this is phenomenal. And then the other part is, the further away I get from being in my old room, this is the new norm. And it just becomes like great. And I'm just now, going forward until I build the new big theater. And even once that's built, it's going to take time. I wouldn't use this. I wouldn't say like, hey, this movie here, I can't judge bass. I can't judge certain things. I can't judge the Atmos track. I'm not, but I'm here for the experience. Right. And it's like, I'm lucky to have this room. And very, very happy, very excited about the sound. Now, the picture. Oh boy. It's like, I'm used to a 110-inch screen that I'm sitting at about 11 feet away. Projected. Running with Illuminagen, great HDR, great image, everything. But a display, more detail. And when you're sitting close to it, like 6 feet away, you're seeing detail. I'm like, the pores, all of this detail is gorgeous. Now I haven't calibrated this thing to like, professionally calibrated. I ballparked it. Once I get my, if I put my Panasonic in and I'll run like Spears and Munsell and I can really dial it in to my level, then it'll be even better. But just, a few tweaks here and there off of Dolby Vision Dark in here, it's fantastic. And like I said, it's like the black bars, the top and the bottom. Contrast is fantastic. The detail is fantastic. The brightness, I went and watched the few scenes of Foundation. That's the show that ended on Apple TV Plus that ended up getting me into buying Illuminagen in the first place. Unreal, just gorgeous. Does make me rethink, like, maybe a display is the way to go over projector. No, I'll never do that. I always want a projector because I know projectors can look almost as good as this. And now you're a little further away, but it's even a bigger picture, different experience. So, but there's nothing wrong in this room for me right now. It's exciting. It's a new way of doing things. And it's, you could take a small bedroom and turn it into a fantastic screening room for relatively short money. And like I said, my first year, I'm excited to go to Cedia and then come back to this room and be like, yeah, this ain't no $1 million room, but I'm further away than I was with my other theater, but we're not that far away. You can do it with a little bit of knowledge and, short money, relatively speaking. You can do a lot with a little room. So
Blind Guy says, since you've seen these movies 1,000 times, only 1,000 times, since last week, do you think you would have the same experience if you didn't know what was coming, if you blindfolded yourself? So blind testing, I suppose.
What's so great is that's a great question, Blind Guy, because I've done all that in my 1,000 times of watching, especially this movie in general, in particular, Star Wars. I've watched these movies with my eyes closed. I've watched scenes with my eyes closed because, you can. It's like if you take the visual out of it, you can more hyper focus on where the sounds are in the room. And I've been doing that since I had a 5.1 system in an apartment back in like 1992, 93. And it's, and the stuff that we have now, it's like I just sit there with my eyes closed, and people would come into when I had my dedicated room. I'd be like, now close your eyes and watch this. And they're like, what? So I kind of stopped saying that to people. But yeah, you can get a different experience if you close your eyes, and especially since I've done, when Atmos first came out, I did a lot of that. To me, that's a better test. That's more fun than like what Shane does with, the virtualizer from the Trinon virtualizer. That can get, and I've said this to Shane, I'm not talking out of school here. I've said it to him. It's like, I want a Trinon someday, and I know that thing will mess with me because movies are meant to evoke emotion, and you'll on purpose, you'll move things in the room audibly and visually just because you're so into the movie. And then you go and you put it through a virtualizer like in the Trinov and go, oh, it wasn't there. And now you've literally just taken yourself out of the next time you view that because it's not in the overheads. I thought it was, and how disappointing is that? So that tech is fun. And trust me, I would play with it just like he does. And he does a fantastic job. He is like when I started, he wasn't doing that when I started. I think if he was doing that before I started, I wouldn't have started my show because he's everything that I wanted. And if I had it, I wouldn't have needed to do my show. And that's what I started doing, where I talked about all the different scenes. And he does it so much better than me too. He's quicker. My shows are like an hour long of all the scenes. But yeah, he gets to the point and he does a great job with that stuff. But that tech can really mess with you. Just like you hear a review of something, you might have loved the movie, or you might have loved it if you hadn't heard the review first. And that happened to me a few times many years ago before the show, that I would read stuff and then go watch it and be like, And then one movie in particular I watched and I absolutely loved it, and then read reviews on it. It was like, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm glad I didn't read this first. So, take the reviews with a grain of salt, because your room might work better for you, and other people, like even us in particular, we can be picky because this is what we do. And the people like Shane and all of our friends that do this, even more so than us, they can be picky, but that's their job. That's what they're doing. And it's up to us to enjoy the experience. And if you love it, you love it. So, and this room is got everything I need right now. So, did John's asking, no, I didn't. I don't have the height virtualizer on this one. I don't believe this this was an earlier version. This is a 6300. So, and I thought about getting one, but I'm like, nope, I can't spend any more money. I have this one here. I'll just run the overheads when I'm ready to. But yeah. So, let's see. Also, yeah, that's the other part. Travis had said before he ducked out, he said, got to run. F1 sounds better on Kaleidescape than on Apple TV, but not perfect. Unfolded Circle Remote 3 is the future, and scope rules. That was a dig at me. But this whole room is being run. I got my Unfolded Circle this week. So and that's why I talked to Travis yesterday. I called him. I was like, I got my Unfolded. He got his first. He got his Remote 3 first. And so I called him. He got his weeks, maybe months ago, right? And mine finally came in. And so I call him and he's like, I made videos. I go, I know you did, but I don't want to watch your videos right now. I just want to get this thing running. I'll watch your videos later. So I did. I've been watching them to tweak out some other things. But yeah, I'm running the room. I'm still working on it. Literally just started playing with it yesterday. But yeah, go to Travis's and Thrillcat there, and he's got great videos on the Unfolded. It's not even out yet. We started up with it with the Kickstarter and everything like that. So it is pretty awesome. It's everything that we had with the Harmony Elite and maybe a little bit more. I haven't gotten into it, but you can actually design it more than you could with the Harmony Elite. So I'm having fun with that. I wish I had more time to play with it, but yeah. So yeah, we are running the remote. I am running the Remote 3. Yeah, Remote 3 versus the Ava remote. The Remote 3 I'm running right now because that one seems to be the easier one, more user-friendly right out of the box than the Ava remote. So, but I'm probably going to be running the Ava remote. That's what I'll use in the new theater to start out. So, but who knows? Let's see what the Remote 3 does. So, all right. So yeah, that gets you up to speed on how I'm feeling and how I'm gauging this room as compared to other things. And feel free to text me or question me on quality and stuff like that. If I'm saying like, I love the bass here, keep me in check, knowing that I'm not, I'll be like, oh yeah, you're right. It's like this, that, and the other thing. But
you can only talk about what you experienced.
Exactly.
You got the bass in that room, then that's all there is to it. Not all of us are only talking about what we experienced in our room, in our situation at that time of day, at that particular time of whatever it was, and it can be different with ambient noise and everything else. So that's all we can do. That's all we can do, no matter what we talk about. And as we're going to talk later on, things that we really enjoyed, other people just didn't get much from. But as long as we're honest about it, that's all that can matter. The wrong thing would be to say, well, I didn't like it because of the reviews I read, rather than my experience in the room that I was in. So yeah.
It's all opinion. Steve is saying the Denon AVR X6300H supports height virtualization through its DTS virtual technology, which uses proprietary virtual height and virtual surround processing to deliver an immersive sound. I'll look into it. See if it does have it. No, obviously when I got it, I never needed it. So I never looked into that. I did buy a Denon to run this kind of idea out of that podcast studio I had before, but I ended up selling it to Rich Keefe, and that had Dolby height virtualization. So you run a 5.1 and it'll give you Dolby Atmos with the virtualization. So, but yeah, I'll look into it and try it out. I'll definitely try it out. That to me sounds like fun. So, more fun we can have. So, yep. So, all right. Let's see. What do you want to do next, Steve?
I'll have the one beginning with K. There it is. In the middle. Second. That's the one. Yeah.
There we go.
About this last week.
All right.
Properly. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You ready?
Yes, indeed.
Here we go.
Okay. So for this one, we've got Jack Lee to thank for reminding me to watch this again. So this is Kajaki. 2013, I think. Let me just double check because I don't want to get that wrong. 2014, forgive me. Right. So now it's known in America by a different name. It's known as Kilo 2 Bravo in the US. And I say that because this is a movie that is very much worth seeing. And so, yeah, if you're in the US and what I'm about to say intrigues you, then you absolutely should seek this out. And as I say, Kilo 2 Bravo in the US. Over here, it's Kajaki. And Jack Lee mentioned it last week that he had it to watch. I've seen it a number of times. In fact, I've had a Twitter conversation not long after I joined Twitter with that man there on the picture because he plays one of the things on it, who was a really nice guy, really friendly. We had a long chat backwards and forwards about the movie and all the rest of it. So the film itself is a true story. I mean, you could tell that by the way it says Kajaki, the true story, gives it away really.
Well.
It is, but this is one of those rare true stories where it's a true story.
Accurate, you mean?
Very much so. What you said.
Yeah.
And that it's set during the Iraq conflict back in 2006, where the Kajaki Dam is where a number of British personnel were based. And on this one particular occasion, they decided to go on a mission to get a better viewing point of some nefarious activities. Now, of course, it was set in Afghanistan, and the Soviets were there in the 80s. And one of the things that they did was they used to like scattering mines everywhere. And so these soldiers wander into a wadi, so a riverbed, and unfortunately encounter a minefield. And so what then follows is this group of soldiers, these band of brothers, and how they deal with the fact that they are now in a minefield, and what happens. Now, this is the better version of warfare. And I now know why, as in the movie Warfare, not warfare generally. I now know why, Deej, when I watched Warfare, that I wasn't as squeamish about some of the blood and the guts that's in that, because of this film, which has the blood and the guts times 10, way more than Warfare, and in broad daylight too. So if you're a bit squeamish, this might not be for you. But if you want to see what a landmine can do to someone, or indeed several landmines, this is the movie for you. Now, it is an exceptionally tense movie. You've never watched a rock roll down a hill and held your breath more than you do in this movie. It is exceptional.
Have you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah, that was a boulder. Totally different.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
That wasn't down a hill.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's got to go down somehow, otherwise it don't go in that direction.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But there is a moment in this where it's running down, and you literally hold your breath as to what's going to happen. So it is a true story, as I said, it definitely sticks to that. And again, it's one of those where at the end you see the actors, and who they portrayed and kind of what they really look like and all this stuff. It's a fantastic movie. It needs to be seen. I would caution American viewers a little bit in that it is very British. There's a lot of slang terms used, and they don't stop to sort of really explain to the audience what all this stuff is. So I can imagine some Americans needing the subtitles on this, just to give you a warning, okay? Because it is, it's very British, so do watch out for that. But it's exceptional as a film, and it, as I say, tense as anything. So great movie. Now, this was only on 1080p Blu-ray. It's not been released on 4K. I wish it would. So it's DTS HD 5.1, 1080p. The cinematography on it is fantastic. So there are big sweeping vistas across the mountains and across the dam and all this stuff. Looks awesome on it. It really does. And then when you get into the close-ups and the icky stuff, it looks really detailed, very, very three-dimensional. It looks great. And for a low-budget movie, which it is, it looked absolutely amazing. The audio, again, very good. There is bass when these mines go off, but the subtler stuff is what intrigues me about movies like this. So it's the wind moving through the speakers. It's that the absence of sound sometimes on this. And again, the sound of a rock rolling down a hill is more suspenseful than your Nightmare on Elm Street, your Friday the 13th, the quiet bits before the strike. I mean, there are helicopters, there are Chinook helicopters, there's Black Hawks, and they're all in the overheads because it's up makes fun, you relax. It's very good. This is worth seeing. It really is. Albeit, as I say, with the subtitles on. I see John Mensor saying he's just bought it on Apple iTunes. Good man, John. Let me know what you think of it, John, because I'd like to know an American perspective. But it's very moving. It's very well done, and an incredible story. And I mean, Jordan's saying you don't see many people talking about this. I agree. It should, in another world, in a better world, this would have been up for Oscars. It's that kind of film. It's exceptional. So yeah, highly recommended. And if you get a chance to each, because I know you liked Warfare.
Yeah.
I think you'll get a real kick is the wrong word. You'll be
get a kick out of it.
Yeah, it's awesomely done. If you can get beyond the vernacular, because like I said, they're using army slang, they're using colloquial terms, they're using. So I can definitely see people with their subtitles on in the US.
Is it like dog soldiers?
It's how Train Spotting in the US had a version with the subtitles on. It's more like that. So not only are they using army terminology and acronyms and slang and everything else, they're also using it with British colloquial terms. So it probably should come with a glossary and an index and subtitles, but that shouldn't put you off, because you get this band of brothers, you see kind of how they're doing, what they're doing and why they do what they do. And when this incident happens and these things occur, you feel that camaraderie. And as I said, you will be chewing your fingernails during some of this. You really will. It's almost like Sorcerer, that with the truck going across the bridge in Sorcerer. It's like that, where you're just like, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? And how is this going to resolve itself? So yeah, highly recommended. If you haven't seen it, and Paul, I think suggested perhaps you hadn't seen it in the chat. Paul, do yourself a favor and make a beeline for this. You will love it. I don't know anybody that doesn't. So
Jordan's saying Blu-ray is sold out at HMV right now. But hopefully it'll be available again soon. It's listed for only $6.99.
It's definitely available in America, because Jack Lee said last week he had it to watch.
There you go.
So you can get it in Australia for sure. But yeah, really good movie. Really, really good film. And I know the actors are cool as well. Hence, as I said, long Twitter conversation with that guy there, David Elliott, I think his name is. And he, not long after I joined Twitter, as I said, and he was very pleased, because I'd said to him how well he played this role and all this stuff. And he was, very, very fun to talk to. So yeah, very cool.
Cool.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. All righty. Let's see. My next one, you can see it if you're watching at home, or if you're watching the live on YouTube, you can see it behind me. That's one of the little perks. I already brought it up back there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, So here we go. Long time I've been waiting for this one. So, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, or Dolby 5.1 in my case. Almost 3 hours. It's like 2 hours and like 48 minutes or something like that. And I watched this in 3 sittings, and I did it like each act. I mean, you get your 3 acts in the movie, and it worked perfectly. It's my first viewing of it. Typically, I don't do that, but with the time I have available, I was like, it worked perfect. And it's the movie. Have you seen this yet, Steve?
No, I haven't. I've seen.
Okay.
Do you know what? The last couple of days, I've been inundated with people, both that I, in real life as well as online, saying, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it?" And when it came out, I thought most people were saying it was great.
Yeah.
And yet the last 2-3 days, I've just had people one after the other saying, didn't like it, turned it off, just didn't do anything for me at all, not going back to it. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to get the disc day one. I mean, I can't wait to see it.
I think you and I are the outliers of people that hadn't seen it until now that are huge fans of the franchise, right? So if you're a huge fan of the franchise, like we are, most likely we would have seen it in the theater. But for whatever reason, in my case, it just went like I didn't have the time. And by the time I got around to seeing it, it was in a subpar theater. And I was like, I'm not seeing this. I'm not sitting 3 hours in a subpar theater for this. If I was actually going to, and John's the one that went, it's 3 hours long. I was like, I'll wait. I really didn't expect it to wait this long to come out. I mean, it literally, like I said last week, it dropped last Tuesday on Kaleidescape. And that was the closing of the house. My theater was dismantled on Sunday. So I didn't think I was going to be able to see it. I was going to watch it on the glasses and be like, all right. And, the movie we're going to talk about later is the one that really was the inspiration to get this room done ASAP. But this movie here was the other reason. I'm like, this was a priority. I wanted to see it. And the movie itself it's a blast. It's such an homage to the entire franchise. There's so many callbacks. I mean, the opening of it is just one giant, like, if you haven't seen anything else, here you go.
Previously on.
Exactly. And it's really just well done for anybody that's a huge, fan of the franchise. It was at times, it was like, again, this is where I think the people that aren't fans of the franchise, they're going to think it was a little slow because you're like, what are they doing here? Because there was some exposition here that maybe they don't get. And for us, we're like, ooh, I know what that means. And this, and it's really, really good. The home theater experience, great contrast, bright colors. I thought, like, sitting here, the pores, that everything, it is a variable aspect ratio. And I was having a blast with it. That was that's what made me go back and watch most of Maverick. I'm like, oh my God, there's so, like, I was waiting for more scenes to go big. The Dead Reckoning was a variable aspect ratio as well. And this one here, it's like, most of the movie is in the, 2.4. But then they go to the 1.85. I wanted it to be more scenes because when they went to it, you were like, there's a difference. I mean, it was noticeable. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is so great. But again, great detail in the shadows, great contrast, deep blacks, vibrant colors. The scenes, we've seen it, like you see it right there, the plane. That plane scene that we've seen on trailers and stuff like that. They pick a yellow and a blue and the red. Oh, I'm sorry, red and the yellow and the red. I swear there's one particular scene where they're doing all these stunts with these planes. And the reason they pick the red is the contrast between the green of the ground when they're rolling and it's just the way it pops. It looks 3D. It looks absolutely fantastic. I was just like, so good. And I can't say enough about it. And I can see why I haven't heard a thing. I haven't heard anybody talk negative about it, but I can see people going, well, it's a little slow here, or it's a little this, that. And I'm like, no, I was just enjoying every minute of it. And then when they get to like the climactic scenes, you're just on the edge of your seat. You know they're going to make it, right? You know it's Mission Impossible, not Mission Failed. So you know they're going to make it, but you're still on the edge of your seat. You're like, who is going to make it? You know, not all characters might make it. I don't know, but you know the mission is going to be a success. And it's just a lot of fun. 3 hours of a lot of fun, but it is a lot
of fun.
Yeah. And so glad I was able to get this room together and be able to enjoy it. Finished it last night, and it was just, it was, yeah. So much, like in between, like I had to leave and come back for the next, sitting. Couldn't wait to get back to it. So
yeah. I am very much looking forward to it. I mean, I'm trying, even as I sit here, bearing in mind the movie we're about to talk about in terms of the stream, I am thinking to myself, well, I could get that and then I could watch it before it comes out here in October. Yeah. And I must admit, I'm sort of selling it to myself even as I'm sat here. So yeah, I do want to see it. But as I said, the last couple of days, even this morning, I was talking to a very good friend of mine who said, oh, you'll never guess what I watched in the last couple of days. And he said, and I'm not going back to it. I watched about an hour of it and I am not watching anymore. And it was this. But Kevin Smith again talked about it and did not enjoy it either terribly. And he was saying that they've shot clearly 2 movies. Said they shot one during COVID, and then they've shot one after the failure of Dead Reckoning Part 1. And he said, and you can tell the difference. He says, Tom Cruise, his hair is completely different in these scenes. And he said, it's divorced dad, Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Because his hair's longer and it looks weird. And
oh, God, yeah.
Different. So my friend said this morning about it, and then Kevin Smith said it too. So you can apparently tell.
There's some different hair choices as the movie goes along, and you're just like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I chalked it up to like, are they just trying to give you each of the hairstyles he had throughout the franchise? I was like, they gave an homage to everything else. Why not? It's like, so
well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I mean, of course, that happened during Brave New World, isn't it? Isaiah in that. His hair changed radically from scene to scene, and there's no explanation. No one says, why is your hair different?
Yeah.
It's so anything that's chopped and changed, where they do a lot of these things. And of course, by the time they came back for reshoots on this, and there were lots of them, he'd moved on to another movie and another look, and there's only so much you can do, I suppose. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As I said, I think I might end up just buying the digital version as well. Now that I'm, back to buying digital versions again after the one we're going to talk about.
Yeah. It's funny we talk about hair things. I listened to the Big Bang podcast about all the different episodes, and they had the hairstylist on one week, and she talks about like curly hair. I never thought of this, but curly hair on an actor in a movie, like we're talking about Tom Cruise, is an issue, because when you're doing like a multi-shot thing, it's like, okay, take 1, take 2. Their hair will change. And they're like, when it's straight, it's easier to keep everything uniform. So one shot will look this way and another shot will look the same. Or if it's curly, it can be bouncing around. And it's like, I'd never heard of it. When I've heard of that issue with smoking, like actors smoking, and because like
cigarettes getting longer and shorter.
Yeah, cigarettes in the smoke itself. It's like they'll exhale and they go to another shot and they're like, it's there, but then it's not. And it's like, and if you're that attuned to the movie, you're like that, I'm like, all right, I don't pay attention that much. I mean, my depth is as far as my dad pointed out of the tires squealing on chips on the beach.
Yeah. Or Mission Impossible 2, where the bike tires
exactly
really close up to on-road and off-road tires. Yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely check. I mean, it's not coming out. Somebody said it in the chat. It's coming out
October.
Yeah. So 2 months away. You have to wait for it.
I might get it earlier, because I had such a blast with this other movie and if it's got variable aspect ratios, then that'll be all kinds of fun. So I think I'm sold.
All right, there we go. All right. So you want to get to that other one now?
Yeah, because we want plenty of time to talk about it, and I've got to kind of hard out at 11. So
all right.
Let's do this.
I'll pull up mine. We'll pull up yours first, actually, your image.
Okay.
And there we go. All right, we're ready?
Let's do this.
All right.
Okay. You might have heard of this.
Yeah.
This
a little.
is F1 the movie, not F off the movie. That's entirely different. This is F1 the movie, and which sort of landed without a lot of fanfare. It seemed to me, or without a lot of warning, onto digital. It just seemed to kind of just drop on Friday, I think it was. And so it dropped on digital, dropped on Kaleidescape, because it always does when it hits digital.
Yeah.
And you know, kind of the two of us got excited, and we were like, "Oh my god, it's on, it's on, it's on!" And so I just thought, right, I'm not waiting. I'm going to buy this straight away. Not rent it. I'm going to buy it, and fine.
Yeah.
So I bought it on digital, Apple TV Plus. Paid $19.99 for it, so not crazy money. And a funny thing happened, Deej. Because
what happened, pray tell?
What happened, Steve? So I get so it's 4K UHD Dolby Atmos. So a funny thing happened. I put it on and I hit play, and I had every intention of watching about 10-15 minutes of it just to see what it looked like and sounded like, because I know that streams aren't as good as physical media, and I'm well aware of that, and fine. But I thought, well, I'll give it a go. I've spent the money. I'll 5-10 minutes, fine. 2.5 hours later, and I had watched the whole damn thing in one sitting, and it flew by. It really did. For a movie about cars,
it raced by.
Race by. There you go. That'll do. We can have that one. That's really good.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah, it took us a
while. At least we
had
to entertain ourselves.
Exactly. Watch the numbers drop.
Yes.
So 2.5 hours later, and I finished it. So the movie, I saw it in theaters. So this is my second time seeing it. And the simplicity of the story is definitely more noticeable second time around, in a good way. I like how you don't have to focus on every little thing. You can just enjoy the ease of the story. In that respect, it's very similar to Maverick. It's same thing, it's nice and simple. This is what they're trying to do. This is how they're going to do it. Here's some action sequences to show them doing it. There's nothing too challenging about it, and that is to its credit. So audio and video. Now, here's where we get controversy, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. But when I saw this on Friday or Saturday, whatever day it was, I can't remember what it was.
I think it was Friday.
Friday. There we go. So
I watched. It came out. Yeah.
Yeah. I hit play, and from second one, this for me, prepare for controversy, people, was and is a push play demo. I hit play and the room came alive. You have an opening sequence where you got some waves, which pan nicely, by the way, across the room. But then we go into what reminded me a bit of Pixar's Cars, the first one, where there's that race at the beginning. And that's what this reminded me of a bit. But the room just fills with noise.
Yeah.
And you get cars going right over the top, right around the room, engines revving, announcers, stadium announcers, which are all in the overheads and are moving around the room. You've got this, all this stuff going on. It is a symphony of noise. And I absolutely loved it. And not only did I love it, I filmed it and texted it to you, because I was like, and I haven't done that before, I don't think. That is how much I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. And that's the opening, opening 10-15 minutes, kind of you get a race and then the story begins to settle in. And so that was the initial noise, but you then get the colorful cars, the beautiful brakes heating up when they hit the brakes.
Yeah.
There's a scene there where you get that kind of HDR
red.
kick of the red. Yeah, exactly. As he hits the brakes, the blue of the cars, the reflections, the flashing of the lights when they hit their brakes,
the flame of the exhaust.
Exactly.
The bright, all of that just
fireworks coming up.
Oh my God. That opening when he comes through there and the firework they're coming over, that looked absolutely amazing. What I will tell you is I did some ABs. That was one of them. Wait till you see the disc. It's now the stream is really, really good. If you watch the stream first, which you did, it looks fantastic, right? I watched the Kaleidescape version first, and then went back and I picked some scenes, and that was that one there, a race later on. Obviously the audio, it doesn't stack up. It's not as dynamic. Even in this room, I can notice it is not as dynamic. The video though, definitely not. It's like there's a film over, like it's very, very slight. If you weren't A-Bing it, you probably wouldn't notice it. But let's just say, like, what was the race that one of the races I A-B'd, it looked like it was gonna rain on the stream, and then you go to the the Kaleidescape version, there's no rain. It was that drastic. The brightness it's just hampered. It's toned down, and now settings are all the same. It's the same screen. It's the same input. It's just going through the Denon into the same exact input, so that nothing has changed there. It's legit Dolby Vision that you're getting through the Kaleidescape versus the Dolby Vision that you get that's streamed. It's just not as much information, so the brightness isn't the same, and it is definitely noticeable. Probably not as noticeable in my theater, my projector, because my projector is hampered. It's an older 4K. It doesn't go as bright, so my brightness wasn't as great. Now, I don't know that. It's a great experience at the time. But when you can get your full brightness out of this, you're going to see that difference. And it's, wow. Wait till you get the vibrancy that you can get out of the disc when you get the disc.
I mean, it's a day one. Someone in the chat said that they think it's 25th of November. So that's a long wait, but I'll be all right with this. I mean, I mean, the other thing with the video, the detail levels as well on Brad Pitt's face, the uniforms, all of that kind of stuff. Actually, the other thing was I found myself casting my eyes over all the sponsors' logos as well, just to see how many different logos there were, and you can do that too, and it's all razor sharp. For me, this felt like, and I've been quite critical of Apple of late in terms of some of the audio and the video of some of their things. For me, this felt like a 4K disc, and that is not something I think I've ever said about a stream before. But I was so excited by this and so blown away by just the stream. Again, knowing the disc will be better, I was just bowled over. I really was. And again, look. I know there's been criticism over the weekend. There's been criticism today from various people we know who, again, that we like them, we trust
friends.
them.
That didn't have the same experience. And
now I get that it doesn't go perhaps as deep as it certainly doesn't do Lucy or or June or anything like that. But I'm not sure that was the plan. What I love about this is the immersiveness of it.
Yes.
When they are racing, you feel it. When they are, when all this stuff is going on, it's just fantastic. And I mean, it's in the chat. I know that John Hextra is saying that Rush was a better Formula One movie. Rush is a great movie, and we reviewed it not that long ago. Hans Zimmer score, fantastic, really good movie. But I think these are different kinds of movies. Rush, of course, is a true story and is trying to tell an accurate story of what F1 was like back in the 70s. This is pure entertainment. This is blockbuster movie making, polished to the nth degree.
It's Top Gun and an F1. That's really what it is. And
that's exactly it.
It felt like you were in the cockpit of the F1 car with Brad Pitt, and like when you sit there and you're like, and his voice when he would talk, it's like the way that echoed in the room. There was times in that I'm like, I had good pans, I had sound coming from the back, cars coming up from behind, panning from the rear to the front if they were being passed. Let them go. The radio sounded different. It's the echo, everything made for a great immersive experience because of the overwhelming sound. And then and obviously how the movie plays out, you go to the different sound, like minus sound and everything like that. But it's like, there's so much, like, I since you mentioned that fireworks scene, I can't get that out of my head. Just, unbelievable. Seeing that in the theater, I remember seeing that in the theater and being like, this is going to be awesome at home. And it was the brightness of that, and the look on it, like when they got the close up back on the cars and you could see it coming down, you know, the fireworks coming down onto the track, onto the cars. And it was just gorgeous. Gorgeous.
It is. And it's interesting that we, you know, I mean, it just looks absolutely stunning. It really does. And I mean, my theatrical experience, which was at a normal commercial theater, decent seating, but that, you know, it's the same cinema, funny enough, that I saw Nobody 2 in. But this version of it in Cinema George again was way better, in my opinion, than what I saw in the theater. It was much more involving, much more enjoyable, sound better, video infinitely better. It was truly a cinematic experience. I was blown away by it. I just loved it. Minute one, right to the end. As an experience, and it's apparently, Deej, all about the experiences.
I've heard that. I can't remember where I heard it. I'm getting older. My memory's failing.
Sure,
I remember
it somewhere.
You've seen it somewhere. Yeah. Like, where did I see that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Don't ask John where it's written.
No, he won't know. He won't have a clue. Yeah, he definitely won't know. And so, as an experience, and this may be where we can then agree to disagree with anyone else, but certainly for me anyway, as an experience, this is one of the best of the year. Is a pure in the room, on it goes, and I was blown away. I loved it, and the disc will improve on it. There's no doubt about that. And I can't wait. You know, it'll be great. But in the meantime, I will see this 4, 5, 6 times before this comes out, because this is just a very easy watch and a great experience, as I say. So, you know, I get that others are perhaps less enthused, but I thought it was great. And it would be wrong of me to suggest otherwise, because it was great. And, you know, so there it is. I had a blast with it. Absolute blast with it. And like you said, I think some of that has to do with, you know, some of the negativity could come from the fact that their review is literally audio and video, right? And whereas what we're doing is more of the full package, right? Like, how does it all work together, right? Now, if you're going to change, and I've said this before about different scenes, like when I was stamping out movies, I'd stamp out a scene and be like, all right, go back to 42 minutes and 32 seconds and be like, oh my God, I have to see that again. Then I go back and I don't have the immersion. I don't know what I'm looking at. There's nothing there worth talking about. But at one point I thought there was, but it's because of the emotions as the movie's playing out. And, you know, just like I said, you know, I've told the story before, I upgraded to this receiver, and my wife thought I got a new projector because the sound was that much better. So is it possible that you're watching this and you're just so immersed in the sound, and your own brain, like I said about my elevated surrounds, is like your brain is making up for any shortcomings because you're so invested in the movie and you're having so much fun. Now, to your point, does it have the bass of Lucy? No. Does it have, you know, does that mean it's less dynamic? Probably. But as an overall experience, you push play and enjoy the movie. If you get into it, great. And that's part of it, right? And it's like, if you sit down and you're into it, nobody can tell me otherwise that it wasn't a great experience, and that, you know, it's going to be on my list. It's because that's what I enjoyed. So, and it doesn't mean that they're wrong. Just like some movies you just flat out like, and other people are like, that was horrible. Has nothing to do with sound or audio. Just like, I liked it, you didn't. That's okay. You know, so it's the overall experience, really. I thought that about Malignant, Deej, you know.
Yeah. That's right.
It was very cool. Old School Kung Fu Films, by the way, says just ordered Kajaki from eBay. Thanks for the recommendation. Nice. Hey, no worries. Again, as I said to the chap earlier, Old School Kung Fu Films, let me know what you think of it. If you get it, watch it. Just drop into the chat and tell me what you think of it, because I'm hoping you're going to absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see it again. I really look forward to watching the disc when it comes out. I think we're all hoping that this is the start of more stuff coming from Apple, because I mean, who would not buy C 1 and 2 if that dropped?
Yeah.
Who would not buy, these? Greyhound, again, obviously it's out on Kaleidescape, but on disc, I mean, I'd be picking that up day one. I mean, even Chief of War, which I'm up to date with now, really enjoying that. Looks and sounds amazing. That'd be great to own as well. And Finch is really good too. Yeah. There's a number of really, really good movies that are on there. Not just Tom Hanks movies, which Finch is, of course, not just Tom Hanks films. But there are a number of really good movies on there. So Apple, if you're listening, let's make this the start of something new, and let's have all these things coming on disc, because I don't think they're allergic to money.
No.
And I'm prepared to send some their way.
Apparently I am, but they're not.
Yeah, well.
The other thing of note here is 2 weeks in a row, we've had movies drop on a Friday.
Yes.
The week before Tuesday was Superman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Out of the blue, no pun intended. We got, didn't expect to see that drop on a Friday, and we get Superman. And the following week, we get F1, and the rumors were leading up to it that, oh boy, F1 might be dropping on the 22nd. And it was like, oh, wow. Is this a new release date? Are they why all of a sudden are we getting movies on a Friday going digital? Like, are they trying to pique interest for going into weekends? I mean, typically everything was Tuesdays. We'd get, everything would drop on Tuesdays. So nice, keeping us on our toes.
Is it something for the weekend, do you think? Do you think they're thinking, this is I'll get it now because tomorrow night I'm home and I can get friends around. Yeah. And we can, I wonder if there's a bit of, I'm not going to go out to the movies, but look what's just dropped on at home, and we can watch it tonight when we get some beers in, and we can do this and we can
maybe.
So I wonder if there's a bit of that, because went back in the day, where did you go on a Friday night? Blockbuster. You go and get a movie to watch, and so this way you kind of capitalize
available digitally to rent or own or whatever. And here they're dropping them on Fridays, and you're more apt to be like, oh my God, this is a surprise. And you're more apt to impulse buy it. Maybe you don't watch it that night, but that was the plan. And then you end up going out or something. But where it's on a Tuesday, you'd be like, oh, okay, I'll get to it later this week. You might forget about, who knows? I don't know. But it's, is it because there's a lull right now in releases in the theatrically? So they're like, we'll make up for it. And for the people that didn't get out to the theaters to see these movies, here we go. We'll release it on a Friday. So if nothing else, it's keeping us on our toes. And this Friday, I'll be like, what's dropping? What's possible? What's coming?
It's
and it's cool. little notice. Like, you'll hear a rumor about it. And we heard rumors about F1. I don't think I heard anything about Superman. Dropping that week. And it was like, I was like, oh boy, I'm going to be able, because I didn't know when it was coming. And then you find out it was dropping then. And that was literally the Friday before I was taking my theater down. So I was like, oh boy, got to get this in too. So it's pretty cool. It is cool. Greg, Awesome Ninja, I think we've heard of him. Yeah.
So Steve, what movie dropping in 4K Kaleidescape only would get you to purchase one? Well, that's easy. None. There's not one movie out on Kaleidescape that would make me want to buy one. As mentioned previously, for me, what would make me get one quickly would be access to the US store. It's about getting movies generally early, not one particular movie. There is no one movie on there at all that would make me get
just more consistency with the American store and the UK. Would just be more.
Quite. Because there are issues about the Wi-Fi. We've talked about that before. I mean, I couldn't connect it directly. The aesthetics committee would, have my guts for garters. So it would have to be either Wi-Fi, which would take a long time to download.
Is that a horror movie saying or something?
Have you not heard that before? Guts for garters? No, not heard that. That's an old school English phrase, that one. See, we get them every now and then. I like that. It's good. but we so yeah, whether that's Shakespearean, I don't know. Maybe it is. But anyway, yeah. So it would have to be over Wi-Fi. So the downloads would take forever. They would destroy everyone else trying to use the internet whilst it was going on. But as I said, for me, it's not about the convenience of having them on a button. I don't need that. It's not about the storage issue. I've solved that for the time being, for another good 18 months to 2 years anyway. For me, what would make me get one is if tomorrow Kaleidescape said, you know what, you can have access to the US store, you can do that. That would be worth it. Because I'd love to have this now on Kaleidescape. I'd love to have.
Well, I don't think it's even up to them. It's up to
no,
studios.
Quite. Oh, yeah, it's licensing.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all the licensing the studios are doing, which is, I don't understand why they don't license it the same. You know, to be fair, it's like, especially with Kaleidescape, I was just telling somebody today about like how they have a huge yacht division, because the point of the Kaleidescape is you download everything to it. If you lose your internet connection, you don't need it to watch the movie, right? It's like, it's there. So people are going all over the world on their yachts with their American movies, you know? So is there a loophole there that it's like, okay, so you come into port, you get your movies and you go back out but you've got your American movies. So I don't know. It is kind of interesting that they can do it, but it's weird. And why are the studios like throttling it back there, but not like we don't want their money yet. Why?
Yeah, well, it's the licensing. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Feel free, Greg, go for it, buddy. Yeah, works for me, man. Works for me.
Greg, DJ needs a house first. Can we
Patreoning
DJ a house before we get Steve a yacht?
Well, I don't know. All right, I'll have just a dinghy then. That's fine. I'm not precious.
Yeah, exactly.
But it'll come down
to Kaleidescape.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, check me out, man. Yeah, awesome. Got my glasses on.
Row your boat.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I row quicker. The electric works faster. But I think the reason that it's not available worldwide will be licensing, distribution. It'll be, they want to hold it back in certain territories. They want to advertise it differently. There'll be all kinds of stuff. And I dare say they want to keep control. There's a bit of that as well. The studios, we want to control where it's going and how it's going, even in the days of the internet, which theoretically means it's not possible. But that's what it's all about.
Right.
I'm sure. And Blind Guy says, could you have US access with VPN? We always talk about this, don't we? It doesn't seem to be that way. It doesn't work that way. And also you need a US credit card, US accounts, and all that kind of stuff. So it's not that simple. And these days,
and the VPN, the highest speeds you get with VPN are right around 100, and you wouldn't be able to do much with it then anyways.
Yeah, that's it. Just start downloading Final Reckoning and just be done in time for days. The sequel. It's part 2. Yeah. So so VPN's problem, you need a US credit card. And these days, I dare say, you set up a ghost US bank account, a US card, and you're going to get a knock on the door from Homeland Security these days. So let's not risk that.
All that so you don't have to put a disc in. Now, not worth it.
It's not going to look cool in my cell in Guantanamo Bay, is it?
No.
What are you in for? I really wanted to see Dead Reckoning. You're not going to be the king of the yard with that.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I got 14 years because I really wanted to see F1.
Yeah, that FBI warning at the beginning is serious.
They meant it.
They meant it. Oh God, it's so funny.
So but that's the only thing, guys. As I said, not convenience for me. It's about access. Otherwise, I can wait. Steve, get on, Greg. Steve George and Alligator Alcatraz due to Dead Reckoning. There you go. See, it's just not cool, is it?
No,
I'll come up with something else.
Nope, not cool. Not cool.
Yeah.
Well.
So
all right.
F1, awesome. Make your own mind up, people. We're telling you what we think. Others are saying what they think. Give it a go. See what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, we're trying to cover the overall experience, and some of them are really good, and some of them are malignant. So,
hey man, some of them are midway.
Yeah.
Although,
does that mean it's right in the middle?
Yeah, midway. Yeah,
midway. See what I did there?
Time is being kinder to that film because I do want to see it again. And
here we go.
Find it, but I can't find it. I can't find it in the attic. I need to find it. And then I promise I will give it another go. Whereas
you can't find it, check the trash.
Yeah, well, trash compactor just to make sure. Whereas The Fifth Element, no. But midway, I would give it another go. I'd be willing to subject myself to it one more time if I had to, just to think is it as bad as I remember? Because that's what, 5 years ago now, 4 years, 5 years, got to be.
Oh God, what
5 that we had our conversation? It's got to be 5.
Probably, yeah.
Got to be. So I need to see it again. I do.
Yeah, it has to be 4 or 5 years because I started 6 years ago.
And it was still quite early days, wasn't it? Because that's what we talked about, spoilers and the popcorn popping.
Yeah.
Yes, it's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be 5 years. I need to give it another go.
Yeah,
and then review it on the show. I was right.
Oh, you're gonna get right. You're gonna like push play and just be like, oh, here he goes. What's his name? You hate the actor.
Yeah, Ed Skrein, who is in Jurassic World, of course, isn't he? Rebirth,
for a little bit.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, not for long. That's about the best thing that could have happened to him on a boat.
What can go wrong there? No, you didn't like him in that in Midway, and he plays a character. I really like it because the whole entire Roland Emmerich. It's like it's actually based on something that happened to his like great uncle, I think, or something like that. Yeah, it's a personal story. And he'd been trying to make that movie since the 90s, and he couldn't. It was too expensive. And what did they end up doing that one? They ended up doing that one for just over like 50, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot.
It was relatively low budget for that movie. And he was saying like in the 90s, it would have cost well over 150 to 200 million. And I think he came in around 55. If I remember right, on that movie. Yeah. And it's like, it was a, passion project for him. And, but yeah, I get what you're saying on my second viewing and third viewing. I saw what you saw, but I still love the movie because there's some dynamic scenes in that when they're dive bombing the way they had to do that in World War II. When they come in, it's like it's not like now where you're sitting in like Utah firing a missile going, they literally had to fly at it. And they like pull up at the last second or not. You either go with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm doubting myself now. I must admit, after all this time, I do need to see it again, but I'd like to just find the disc rather than rent it because I don't want to go giving them any more money. Yeah. And also I want to have the proper experience. So I'll crawl all over the attic again at some point, try and find it.
Look at this one.
Okay.
Stacy can. I accessed the U.S. Kaleidescape store from Canada using VPN, but the movie download is done off VPN from the Kaleidescape without issue.
But what about the bank account stuff and all that?
I don't know.
That's the other thing. I don't know whether Canada is part of it. We just don't know. Yeah, again, I don't know. And
interesting.
Thank you for telling us, Stacey. I appreciate that. But I have to say, it still sounds like a faff to me. A lot of messing around, which is not what Kaleidescape's supposed to be about, isn't it? Press the button, play.
It's supposed about ease of use and it's the overall experience. And if you have to do that, but like as Stacey can saying here, it's like, I mean, they have it down to a pretty good science right there, where you're purchasing it on your phone with a VPN, and then your system at home isn't on a VPN, but it just goes bang and does it. So there you go. So
fair play. I mean, Fred says, I'm not sure if he's talking to me or whether he's talking to Steve out. I don't know, Fred. If you're talking to me, quite a few. I'm up to about 4K discs. I'm about 1,300 at last check. And then with Blu-rays as well, there's about another 1,500, 2,000 of those. So yeah, we're looking at pushing 3,000 and change. There's a lot, hence the cardboard sleeves. So there's a lot of them, and I'm all right though for about another 18 months, I reckon. And then I'm going to have to start looking properly at alternative storage.
Well, yeah, crazy. Martin J, virtual credit cards are what people are using. That's possible too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get me arrested, Deej.
No, I know. Well, it's so funny. It's like now we just sound like old men. I don't think you can do that. It's like, really, yeah, you can. Like that's what the world's running on now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Yeah. It's risky. Bearing in mind that's not what it's intended to do. The other thing I'll be worried is that they could just brick it from
right. Yeah. Oh yeah. If they any hanky panky, they're just going to be like, they can. It's in your contract and stuff. They could do stuff.
Yeah. So knowing how I hoover these discs up and these movies up, if it was Kaleidescape, it'd be even worse. I get even more because it's just that button press. There it goes. And then if I spent all that money on that, and then it's like, yeah, that's it. You're not having that anymore. Yeah, lawyer up, Steve Martin. I am a lawyer. Which is so I'm already lawyered up generally,
which is why he's nervous.
Well, quite, so I wouldn't want to risk it. I would worry about that kind of thing. Whereas buy a disc, fine, no, it works, great, appreciate they're not going to work forever, but for now they do, and they're awesome, and so but I don't rule out Kaleidescape, just want it soon.
Exactly. Yep. So all right. That it?
Yeah.
For this week?
I've got an early start in the morning, had a long day. Yeah. I need my beauty sleep, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
All right.
Well, both of us. I was more speaking of myself. But who knows? Tune in next week. See where I am.
173-inch screen. Volume right around.
I'll be right. I'm on second base.
Did you get done the show after?
I was referencing something else, so you're going in another direction. All right, we're out of here. Thank you to everybody. Thanks. What a lively chat. That was awesome. And patrons, we will be doing something soon. I promise.
Who were they?
Eventually, maybe not soon. We'll be doing something. All right, there we go. All right. And till next week, you know what you gotta do.
Go push play.
What he said.
That's right. Hey, Fred. This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.